We have to savor these. Kevin Durant and LeBron James square off tonight. So let's do a little top of the top. KD versus LeBron. We're going to start with their first ever matchup. This was on January 8th, 2008. Squint. I know the footage is great.
Seattle.
Durant finished with 24 points. LeBron finished with 22 points. The Cavs won this one.
Seattle's in the building today. Shout out to NECA.
95-79. Yes, she is. We might have to bring her on the show, right?
No, she refuses.
Next, the 2013 Heat and Thunder, Brian Windhorst. I know you had a front row seat to this one.
This was where Durant ascended, and LeBron had to try to hold him off, but it didn't last forever.
39 points. Durant finished with 40. LeBron, though, took the matchup, right? 110-100. And then Christmas Day.
Oh, I love this one.
Is fun. This little sequence.
Are those the jerseys? I'm trying to think. Yeah. Yep.
And then KD on the other side.
Kept Caleb outlet.
Those Golden State
Sorry,
Warriors
Draymond.
teams, yeah. Lastly, this is the 2017 Finals. Durant trotted down, hit the dagger three over LeBron to secure his first championship. This generation of forwards, though, it's really been defined, right, by LeBron James, Kevin Durant. They've won plenty of gold together in the Olympics, and the best finals rivalry we've seen in the last couple of decades was marked by their showdowns in large part, and Friday is just the latest meeting between these two MVPs. Let's take a listen to Kevin Durant here on his matchups with LeBron.
It's a special time, especially with us getting older and our time in the league is coming to an end. You cherish every moment. You always appreciate the battles against the best of the best. It brings the best out of you as an individual. So I look forward to playing in LA tonight. The energy is always incredible to start the season there in the arena, and having an opportunity to play against a guy who I've been battling with my whole career should be fun. Mutual respect, just friends, just somebody that I can relate to. And we had conversations. We had deep conversations about a lot of different things in life. So it's good to be able to have somebody in life you can compete with on that level, somebody you can actually, bounce ideas off of too. It just makes you a better human being overall.
To call the game between these two legends, we have a legend of our own joining us on set, the voice of tonight's game, Ryan Ruocco. Thank you so much for making this time. You're one of the busiest men in show business after the W, calling the entire postseason.
Been busy.
It's been busy.
But it's good to be here.
You, my friend, have been excellent.
Thank you.
Before we get into this, I just
you.
want to say it has been such a pleasure to hear both of your guys' coverage of the W, and now you're matching in purple.
That's
I
right.
love it.
Always.
All right, so these two NBA icons in Kevin Durant, LeBron James, we've seen plenty of battles over the last 2 decades. How would you characterize them, Ryan?
I just feel like it's the ultimate respect, right? And where I think we're so lucky is that you could look at this and say, all right, you get to see LeBron and KD. How many more times do we get to see them treasure this? But you also get to see them still playing at a ridiculously high level. Talking about year 22 and year 17, and yet they are both still top 5, 10 players in the game, right? And I think that's the thing. Not only do you get to watch them, but you get to watch them looking like themselves.
So there's what I call the first ballot trio in the NBA right now. That's Steph, KD, and LeBron. Whenever these guys play against each other, we need to treasure going forward because we don't know how many are left. We've got a couple coming up. We got 2 Suns-Laker games coming up. Don't lose sight of it just because it's the start of the season.
Both of these teams. Go ahead, Perk.
We definitely need to treasure them. But look, make no mistake about it, okay? Every single time Kevin Durant steps on the floor to compete against LeBron James, he wants to kick his behind. Okay, I remember even back in my Oklahoma City days in 2014, KD was getting ready for the All-Star game. Man, KD called me. He said, you know what, Big Perk, I'm about to go at this man. I said, in the All-Star game? He was like, yeah, I'm about to go at him. He had 38. And that was the season he won the MVP. And I think it was a great thing because it wasn't like, jealousy. It was just that KD was like, nah, I want to have my name mentioned every time LeBron's name is mentioned when it comes down to a certain tier. And I think Kevin Durant did a great job of that. And it's okay to, measure and try to look eye to eye with a guy like LeBron James, arguably the greatest player to ever play.
Yeah, both of these teams made some changes this offseason, trying to get back to where they want to be with these stars, which is in the NBA Finals. The Lakers, of course, their big acquisition was really their coach in JJ Redick. And yesterday, did you see this? The Lakers, they posted this video. They did a bigs versus guards challenge. So Anthony Davis lost to Austin Reeves. And then you see Pops here. Too many dribbles. That's too many dribbles against Sun. So that's a point for team guards here. And then JJ Redick.
Look at him getting at it.
Oh, come on, let's see that feet, JJ. He's putting his whole life into holding him.
Oh, no, team guards.
has to stop.
That is a Scott Brooks drill. Shout out to Scott Brooks who's sitting on
Hey, that looks like fun.
We
We
used
might
to
have to implement a little NBA Today bigs versus
Who's guarding
guards.
Perkins?
I'm saying.
Oh, man, no one wants that match.
That's all
Scott
you
Brooks,
sis.
no, he used to get in the mix like that, but that's a drill he used to run when we was at OKC.
And I hope you scored on it.
He's like, yes, I did. Ryan, you worked with JJ Redick all of last season right here on ESPN. Was there a moment that you knew, oh, yeah, this guy, he's going to be a head coach, not just any head coach, but of the Los Angeles Lakers?
I probably really knew when he was watching inverted pick and roll clips over and over again on a flight to Chicago and just smiling ear to ear. But really, there was a story. We were doing a game on ABC in late January. We're in Denver. And my daughter had been really sick for a week. She was 2 at the time, and she was in the hospital. And so I was on the phone, very distracted throughout the day. And we're walking out to the tunnel just before the start of the game. And he pulled me aside, put his arm around me, and he was like, hey, ma'am, I know you're worried, and I understand. But you have done everything you can to support your family from afar. I know that your daughter is going to be completely fine. For the next 2.5 hours, you get to go do what you love with 2 of your closest friends. If you can't be at home, is there a better place you could possibly be? And I remember my daughter was fine, thank God. We had a great broadcast. And I remember in that moment thinking, like, JJ's obviously analytical, right? He's amazing when it comes to everything X's and O's. He will always have an answer for anything. His information is unmatched. But I remember thinking in that moment, too, what a beautiful personal touch and a way to calm me and ease me, but also to get me ready to go do our job, too. And I remember thinking in that moment, you know what? He's going to have that part down, too, when it comes to head coaching.
Before we let you go,
Yeah.
Ryan, you know my favorite part of when Ryan Ruocco calls a game?
What?
You get to hear
You bet.
something very, there it
You
is.
bet.
You bet. You get to hear
That's my
something very
favorite.
specific. So you know we got a signature game for you.
Let's do it.
Wheeler finds Clark from the logo. Doncic. Step back 3. You bet. Mabry. You bet. Nurkic push shot. No. Creeping. Taking. No. Kleba will pull. No. Tatum step back 3. No. Brunson fading away. You bet. Ionescu. You bet. Curry catch fire. You bet.
There's got to be nothing more crushing than the, no.
I wish you said nope.
I think that no was like originally inspired by long twos from Josh Smith back in the day. I think that's where, and then it just kind of evolved.
You're saying a whole lot of no's.
That clip, certainly. All right, this is going to be pretty self-explanatory. Your answers for this segment are based on you bet or no.
All right.
And I think everyone kind of gets where this is going,
Yeah.
right? So let's start with this. The first question, the Suns-the-Lakers game tonight, but does it contain a representative for the Western Conference Finals?
I'm going to say you bet.
That's not how you say it.
You bet. I really think I think the Suns and the Lakers are both going to overachieve this year. And I don't know what the ceiling is for them, but I think we are going to get one of those teams in the Western Conference Finals this year.
I might have to be no. No, just because did we see the Thunder, the Mavs I'm high on, also the Wolves, but I don't know. It's your segment.
I appreciate it, though. All right, the Celtics, they've been dominant through the first 2 games. Will the Sixers or Knicks challenge them in the East?
You bet. I think I had to that time. Well, you wanted volume.
I like the volume. I'm surprised by the answer a
Yeah,
little bit.
no, I think so. Now, challenge, right? That doesn't mean beat.
Okay.
That the Celtics are still by far and away the best team in the East, in the class of the East, right? But like, absolutely, I think they will be challenged more than they were a season ago. You know, that Knicks team also was decimated by injuries by the time they got to the end of their series with the Pacers, right? I think a healthy Knicks team in the Eastern Conference Finals might have challenged them last year. Not beaten them, but made it a good series. I definitely think one of those teams will challenge Boston this year.
And then the call for that would be one more time?
You bet.
Oh, I can't get enough of it. Ryan Ruocco, thank you so very much.